welcome to my review of Lara Croft, Tomb Raider. The first one. Yeah, I have currently the 2-pack DVD of the first Tomb Raider and the Tomb Raider: The Cradle of Life, which is the sequel. So, Lara Croft, Tomb Raider. With the release of the upcoming reboot to the Tomb Raider franchise starring Alicia Vikander, I thought it would be an interesting time to go and actually review the Angelina Jolie films, the 2 films that there are. I have seen these films years ago, but I hadn't remembered them up to this point. So, yeah, and I am going to review The Cradle of Life after this as well. So, Tomb Raider, based upon the popular video game series, and obviously was very much a hit in the 90s, so they thought, let's make a movie out of it. And I know what you're thinking, oh, video game movies, they're not good, are they? Yeah, well, you'd be right. So, the plot of this film is that basically, it involves the story of Lara Croft, who is this Tomb Raider, who is the daughter of archaeologist Richard Croft, who is her father, and she is going to find these 2 pieces of this triangle, which is an ancient artifact which controls time, and that's pretty much it. And she has to stop the Illuminati from obtaining it as well. So she's up against a race against them, and the main villain Powell is wants it obviously for world domination, and he's teamed up with James Bond himself, Mr. Daniel Craig, obviously before he was James Bond. So, Tomb Raider. What do I think of Tomb Raider as a movie? Well, to be honest, it's one of those cases where, like most video game movies, where why don't you just play the game instead? It's kind of my feeling with this film. There's no point really watching this film if you just... I mean, if you're a fan of the games, by all means, watch the movie. I just think there's not much here, really. I think Tomb Raider is an okay film. I'd be hard-pressed to call it anything more than that. It's certainly not a terrible film, but as a film, it's not very good. I think the biggest thing is, like, I can't speak. The way I see Lara Croft Tomb Raider is that it is essentially a film that's been made by a video games designer, and that's kind of the feeling I get from it. The filmmaking isn't very good at all. I think this is a movie, it's been slapped together in the editing room. There is no exposition, or very little exposition. It's mainly a big action popcorn romp that you can just sink your teeth into for and 90 minutes. It's not even very long. It's a 90-minute film, and it's, yeah, that's it. I will say though, Angelina Jolie is very good as Lara Croft. She makes the part very interesting, and she puts on a very good English accent, because obviously she's American, so she has to put on an English accent, which is very interesting, and she does a good job. I will say, I do find her a little bit too intense sometimes. She's very serious. She does play the role very seriously, and sometimes it feels like there's not much emotion in there, unlike Indiana Jones, where he's a fully charming character. But, she's obviously a very damaged character, and you can see that. And I think her weakness is definitely her compassion. Her relationship with her father, you can see very plainly when you see her emotional side. That's where it's drawn from, the relationship with her father, who has died. And we do see flashbacks of that, which is nice. But in terms of the storytelling, that's really it. I mean, the whole premise of the movie is kind of simple. It's they're going after this artifact, and that's it. It's a very simple film. It's kind of like Indiana Jones, really. That's it. I mean, I've never really played the Tomb Raider games. I've played one of the recent ones. I think it was called Rise of the Tomb Raider. I played it briefly. It was quite good. It was quite an interesting experience. But I'm more of a movie guy, so I don't tend to play as many games as I watch films. Let's talk about the supporting cast. If I get my list up of the cast, Jon Voight, actually, who in real life, fun fact, is actually Angelina Jolie's father. Yes, for those of you who didn't know that, which makes this film kind of much more sentimental in that sense. The fact that she got her actual father to play her actual father, and he does an English accent too. He's in a few flashback scenes. And those scenes are good. There is a scene towards the end between them, which is very, very, very well done, very well played out. That was a good acting exchange between the two of them. So Jon Voight does a good job. Iain Glen plays the antagonist, Powell. He's kind of a joke. He's kind of nothing. The performance is completely lifeless. He's not a distinctive character. I don't care about his plot to take over the world. It doesn't really make much sense. I mean, he wants to be some kind of god. I mean, that's it. There's no other motivations to his character. Oh well, but the actor's performance is lifeless too. He really isn't very good, to be honest. I thought he was kind of rubbish. Noah Taylor plays Bryce. He's Lara's assistant. He has all the gadgets, so he's like the Q to her Jane Bond, if you like. So yeah, I mean, Noah Taylor's okay, I guess. They try to make him the comic relief character, and it really doesn't work. The humour of this movie just, oh god, it transcends, because she's such a serious character. They play her humour so straight, and it's very awkward. The delivery is awkward. The writing is awkward. I just think the script is rushed. This movie has such a rushed feeling to it. The story doesn't really make much sense, and the film kind of just plods along, and it just goes from place to place, and then there's an action scene. It doesn't really know what to do with itself. It kind of just, it's like, you know what, forget about all this. Let's have some mindless fun. And that's kind of what the director's vision is. Let's just have some mindless fun. And it's like, bang, bang, shoot, bang, smack, wow, action, boom, boom. I'm like, okay, I get it. But, where's the story? I didn't think the story was very well told at all. Of course, one other cast member to mention is, of course, Daniel Craig. In his early film career, in the early days of his film career, this was one of his first films. And he plays this American archaeologist, I guess, who basically is in it for the money. He teams up with Powell, but he has a bit of history with Lara Croft. He's kind of had a relationship with her, and in the reverse to Angelina Jolie doing a British accent, Daniel Craig does an American accent, and he's very good. And I think any scene with Daniel Craig is great. I mean, let's be honest, the guy. I mean, Daniel Craig has been my favourite James Bond. Always has been, always will be. But I think he's a guy that just gives everything. Every performance he does, I've never seen him do a bad performance. Even if the movie surrounding him is crap, like The Golden Compass, the movie surrounding him was rubbish, but he was good in it for the scenes he had. He's pretty good in this film. I like him. He does a good American accent. I mean, his character doesn't do much. His character's just kind of the... Yeah, I don't really get it. I mean, then his character suddenly turns good at the end. It's like, okay. But that's the writing of the film, not Daniel Craig. I just think the film is convoluted. That's the biggest problem. The plot is convoluted. It doesn't really know what to do. The storytelling is very sloppy. It has been slapped together at the press of a button, and it's been shoved out in the cinemas. Yeah, it's just not a very good film. If you were to analyse it as a film, it's not very good. But it's certainly an entertaining film. I'll give it that. I mean, the action sequences are definitely the best thing about this movie, and that's what it has going for it, is its action sequences, and they are very good. But it just makes me wish I was playing the game rather than actually watching a movie. So there we have it. That's the main problem. But it's 90 minutes, so it breezes by. It doesn't drag. But I didn't have very fond memories of the first Tomb Raider movie. I do remember the second one, The Cradle of Life, a little bit more. I watched that one a lot more as a kid, because it came out in 2003. But as for the first one, and oh, I gotta tell you, the CGI, man. Oh man, the CGI is awful. I mean, I realise it was 2001, but even for 2001, the CGI is shit. It is shockingly bad. I mean, it is like a video game. I mean, its effects are the CGI effects rival the first Mummy film with Brendan Fraser. Yeah, those kind of effects, and yeah, as you can imagine, they're not very good at all. So, rather unfortunately, I have to downgrade the movie for that. I don't think this is a total failure. As I said, I do think Angelina Jolie does a great job in the part. And I do like Daniel Craig in his part. And Jon Voight is also good. But the rest of the movie is just a very sloppy mess. And, I mean, it's an entertaining movie. It's a fun romp. But really, if you're expecting a great film, you're not going to get that. You have, I mean, it's a fun time. It is a fun time. It's more of a fun movie than a good movie. So overall, I'm gonna score Tomb Raider a 5 out of 10. Yeah, it's okay. It's alright. Yeah, it's okay for what it is. But don't expect anything more than that. So yeah, that's it for my review of Lara Croft Tomb Raider, folks. Stay tuned for my review of Tomb Raider The Cradle of Life, which will be coming very soon. I am going to be seeing the reboot as well, the Alicia Vikander film, which I am actually quite excited for. I'm actually very surprised by the trailer. So I'm gonna watch that, and hopefully that will be very good. Hopefully it's better than this anyway. So, thank you guys all for watching. That's my review of Lara Croft Tomb Raider. Please let me know what you think down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Stay tuned for my review of The Cradle of Life. And until then, thank you all for watching. And as always, I'm Mr. TARDIS11. See ya.